Okay, students, can I quickly get a confirmation from y'all in the chat box? If you are able to hear my voice properly, students, can I get a confirmation from y'all in the chat box if my voice is audible to y'all? Thank you. Thank you very much, students, for your kind responses. So, students, now one thing I have to tell you. So, we will do the mock number 7, and I have also uploaded the mock number 8. Students, please give me time. I will correct your answers and give it to you all. But at the moment, students, just make sure your thinking is improved and you improve the way you write the exam also. So, students, if you observe this mock number 7, we have the following. That is, if you see students evaluate the challenges we may face in AI proposal for AMR. So I'll just write down here, students. The first thing I have to take it out is evaluate the challenges. Evaluate the challenges that we may face in the AI proposal. In the AI proposal for AMR. So that is 50%. And again, students in SCS, make sure that more than the content, the way you think needs to be reflected to the examiner. And then the secondly requirement, evaluate the risk we may face with mitigation suggestion for using cloud data management system from USA. So risk of using cloud data solutions, risk of using cloud data solutions. And also you can effectively say mitigation strategies also. That is how we can mitigate this as well. So students, I believe it is giving you a better clarity at the moment. Can I quickly get a confirmation from you all in the chat box, students, if you are fine with this? Can I quickly get a confirmation from you all in the chat box if you are clear with these factors? Can I get that? So first thing is framing. And if your framing is correct, you have to move forward, students. Now, before I go into the discussion of this question, because students always asking how you can think differently. I think students don't read this book, you don't have time. But I'm just saying you can go through the summary of this book. It will take around 2 minutes or 3 minutes or 5 minutes summary. So it's a Nobel Prize winner, Daniel Kahneman, has effectively written a book called Thinking Fast and Slow. Actually, students, in strategic thinking, you have to use these things on thinking fast and slow. Example, students, we sometimes make decision very fast, mathematics. Now, Anushka, can I have a quick conversation with you if I'm not mistaken, Anushka?
Yes,
Is it
sir.
possible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, 2 multiplied by 2 is how much, Anushka?
4, sir.
Did you take any time or it was fast thinking?
It was fast thinkings.
Yeah, so the biggest problem that of the people have is their brain is programmed to think very fast. Correct, no, Anushka, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes,
Agree?
sir.
And the biggest issue is that is the education system thinking, where we make the people specialize in a way of doing the same question again and again. Now, Anushka, I'll just give you one more quick thing. Asset equals equity plus,
Sorry, sir.
can you,
Uh,
asset
equity,
equals
equity plus
equity.
liabilities.
Yeah, so again, how that answer came to your mind? It was a fast answer, correct,
Yes, sir.
Manishka? And there were nothing thinking approach there because that's how people react. Now, example, students, I was explaining stakeholder management for one of my staff yesterday. It's not like what we learn in the colleges because in colleges they say keep informed, keep satisfied, key players, minimal effort. But in real life, stakeholder management, if you are thinking very fast, you will always make a wrong decision. Students, can you make a note of that? Because again, you have to ask a question from you. Why SCS they have given 60 minutes time? Correct, no, Anushka. Now you see MCS is how many minutes time? 45 minutes,
45.
correct? But MCS, they are effectively giving you 60 minutes time. It's not the length of the answer. It's the way you think. So I'll write down here in exams or in life. In exams or in life, if you think fast and react, if you think fast and react, always it is disappointment. Always it is what, students? disappointment. Correct me if I'm wrong, students. Can I quickly get a confirmation from you all in the chat box? Because I can do everything, but this paper is very unique. Many students are not passing, not because they are not intelligent. I cannot say that. So this is the reason behind that. Because if you think fast, you will always end up in disappointment, students. Nandini, can I get a quick confirmation from you? Are you aware to talk, Nandini? Is it possible from you? Because the more you
Yes,
think
sir.
fast,
Yeah.
the answer is wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong, Nandini. Yes or no? The more you think fast in SCS, the answer is wrong. Correct no, Nandini, if I'm not mistaken. Because it's very different. It's very different. I think Aditi also, can I get a confirmation from you, Aditi? Are you a fast thinker? Can I get a confirmation from you, Aditi? Your thinking style, is it very much fast thinking?
No.
And
I
at
think
the same time, sorry, sir, at the same time, we may think fast and think out of the question as well.
yeah, it will go out. Yes, Aditi.
Yes, sir. It may be fast, but it won't be very applicable to the question sometimes.
Correct. Thank you, students. Thank you. Now, students, now we have to correct the functions of our thinking. So, students, 60 minutes is our time, right? Anushka, correct, no, Anushka, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, sir.
60 minutes is our time. And since it is 60 minutes, students, majority give their pressure to the time. Do you do that, Anushka? Do you give the pressure of time rather than thinking slowly? Because I think
Yes.
that pressure of time is making you all to complete the answer. Aditi, do you agree with me, Aditi? Is that pressure of time affecting
Yes, sir.
your yeah, so students understand that what I'm saying here, students, it's not about the content you write. It's not about the pressure you build. The more pressure you build, effectively, your innovative thinking, your creativity, all those things goes down. And effectively, what happens is you write an answer like Nandini and Aditi was saying, which is something not relevant to what they're asking. And later, when the results or the suggested answer comes, you will think, why did I write like that? That is the reason behind this. So students understand it very well when you go to the exam. If you have done OTQ, especially Anushka, can you remember when you do OTQ,
Yes,
it's
sir.
more towards framework thinking, correct,
Yes,
Anushka?
sir. Correct.
They give you 90 minutes time, you have to finish 60 question, and you can't think slowly in that time, correct? Because
Yes,
anyway,
sir.
if you think slowly, you will not pass. But students, that is right opposite when it comes to the SCS. In SCS, students, you have to think strategically. You have to, when before you talk to someone, generally in a telephone, we have to make notes. What are the important things we are going to talk? Hotspot and cold spot. Now, certain people, when you talk cold area, the conversation goes out of the scope. Anushka, have you observed that? Sometimes your conversation with some people go out of the
Yes,
picture.
sir.
So students, these all should be framed well when you are talking or when you're doing it. So get it done specially. So now students, when you go to the exam, just get it. Challenges we may face in the AI proposal for AMR. Now, currently we did not come to the high level of AI because currently we are in machine learning. Correct, no students, if I'm not mistaken. Can I get a confirmation from you? Because currently it's machine learning. Machine learning is students, machine is step by step learning. Okay, there is a barrier in the path. I need to stop. Some machine is saying, okay, there's a barrier in the path, but still I can find the alternative solution. So students, I'll quickly give a small glimpse of this. So I'll write down here a machine learning function here, machine learning function. I'll write it down, students. Now, currently in that, but AI is students, when the machine has so much of ample of data, it can use it for own decision making. Are you understanding what I'm saying? Own decision making. Can I quickly get a confirmation from you all in the chat box, students, if you have got the difference? Because machine learning step by step, machine learning step by step. But now we are thinking about AI and don't need to write anything about AI. We have to think practically. And the cloud data solutions, I don't think we have a cloud data solution. Do we have any cloud data solutions at the moment, students? Can I quickly get a confirmation from you all? Do you have any cloud data solutions in our organization? Anything related to that? Nandini, did you check anything with regards to the cloud data solutions by any chance? I don't think so. So students, now coming here, let's think about the question. Now, Iman has sent you the following mail. Since there is a huge competition in the market, we are planning to make sure we have more innovation in the product we have currently. We are focusing on artificial intelligence, which can be feeded into AMR and that we manufacture. And Dr. Hassan has been working extensively hard in this research. So, as you are aware that the company is having great competition in the market due to LiDAR technology, the new concept of AI will drift as well. Therefore, as per my understanding, since there are many devices using IoT, we can make sure that we are able to have some more understanding with regards to business process. Therefore, in that case, we have to make sure that we have smart detections such as voice control, and also we can make sure the ERP is directly connected to the mobile app. For instance, if the customer makes an order and the payment is made, the AMR will directly do the needful without much human interaction. Therefore, the speed will be faster. However, the biggest challenge with the technology is we need to have a cloud data center in order to make sure there is a process of automation, since data centers are very much important. So his suggestion is very clear that efficiency is going to increase. So if I'm ordering something from online store, or if the retailers are ordering something, automatically the machines will do the work instead of a human needs to feed it. And they are telling you need to have a cloud data system. So that is what Dr. Hassan has told. Now the next one, I believe the above statements are very much clear. Therefore, currently I have been able to get a contact from United States of America, where they have a dedicated data center for the use of people. Therefore, as per my understanding, I have been able to make sure that we are able to have a better control of data, since we have a specialized unit in the overseas market. Therefore, there will be some development in cloud network as well. This will be greater success between the supply chain management also. So they are effectively trying to embed an outsourced cloud data management system. Now, the reference material, the AI AMR will be greater convenience for buyer in supply chain things. The service will be really faster for the organization. But we need to be a bit risk averse when it comes to the challenges we may face. Also, since the process is much unique, we need to make sure that we are able to have better understanding as well. Now, students, the question is very clear. Proposal of having AI within the LiDAR technology, so we can compete with Sony. Let's assume that Sony case study is out, but Sony's situation, if we want to do something better than Sony, considering the previous mock, even if you have not considered, that's fine, but understand it very well. We have to compete. Without competing, we can't do well in the market. So I believe everyone has got that understanding of what is competing here. So can I quickly get a confirmation from you all in the chat box if you are clear with that? So currently we have to think on AI proposals. So one technique I can suggest you in the exam you can follow is you can write down here fast thinking. What is this, students? Fast thinking, and here you can write down what, students? Slow thinking. Fast thinking is irrational. You get angry is fast thinking. Correct, no, students? Some sensitivity people says these people are very sensitivity. So we call it as irrationality. And slow thinking is what, students? Rationality. Rationality is you only ask this question: does it even matter? Is this something that I have to consider? So students, if I'm not mistaken, shall we just think about it, students? Okay, students, quickly. Anushka, quickly tell me how is your fast mind is thinking? Anyone? You can use the chat box. Even I do that. I follow this technique when I get angry. I take a piece of paper, I write all my current fast approaches.
So
Slowly, I
can
breathe in for 10 seconds. Yes, Kashif.
fast thinking, I will say production issues.
Excellent.
Pricing mechanism, I will say, because of course, subscription-based pricing model, I guess.
Sir, investment, getting investments.
Efficiency and effectiveness.
Support and maintenance. Customer
The
reaction.
Okay, the feedback. Okay, customer. Interact with market.
Good. I think fine. Now, can we think slowly? Can we go for slow thinking? Kashif, shall we go for slow thinking?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Any still something? Anything still? Aditi, you have not contributed anything.
Shareholder. I mean, shareholders effect of shareholders feedback.
Excellent.
Total quality management.
Excellent.
Mm,
Okay. Can we now slowly think? Shall we go for slow thinking? Yeah. Okay. Right. Anushka, shall we start with slow thinking?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Kashif, everyone ready? Shall we go for slow thinking now?
Sure, sir.
So students follow this technique in the examination. Now, whatever that's come to your mind, you keep it in the fast thinking area. Whatever that is not coming now, whatever that is come to your mind, now let's reassess ourselves. Okay. Evaluate the challenges we may face in the AI proposal for AMR, production issues, pricing mechanism, investment funds, efficiency, effectiveness, support and maintenance. Now, production issue, operational. Can I say that? Can I say this is mostly it is for students? Operations.
Yeah.
Pricing mechanism is generally strategy. Price is mainly strategy, no students, because price what you charge will affect your long-term business. Investment fund strategy, but every business, whenever there is something fund is needed. Efficiency and effectiveness operations, OCS. Support and maintenance is also what students. Support and maintenance is also what students. Operation. Customer reaction and feedback is also what students. Operations. Cyber risk, effectively, I can say strategy. Interact with the market, operations. Shareholders concern, strategy, but general. TQM, once again, is operations. Now, do you see? Yeah.
Sir, I had a point. Maybe the AI would require more in terms of hardware support to apply. So the power conditions that we would need.
Technical enhancements, right?
Yes, sir.
Is technical announcement and software announcement will fall in the same category?
Yeah.
Okay.
Both hardware, software together. That I can say again, operational issues. Now, students, excellent. Thank you very much for giving this point of view, fast thinking. We think without a rationale. Now, the red color things are effectively making us to find out relevant or not relevant. So, evaluate the challenges we may face in AI proposal for AMR. Now, production issues, pricing, production issues, I can keep it little later. Correct? I can just keep it for some time. Efficiency, effectiveness, also I can keep it for some time. Support and maintenance, I can keep it for some time. Customer reaction, keep it for some time. Interact with the market, keep it for some times. TQM, keep it for some times. Technical enhancement, keep it for some time. Now, if you observe students, challenges that we may face in AI proposal for AMR, can I say one thing? Acceptability by the warehouses. Is that a big challenge? Acceptability by the warehouses. Because how I got that answer is I got the answer because of operational issues. Now, if you see Kashif, you are pointing off so many operational issues,
Yeah.
but the people who will panic more than you is your warehouse clients. What do you think, Kashif?
Correct.
Because for you, it's very easy to develop a product. And for you, it is very easy to say this is AI. But for the people inside the warehouse, your clients, for them, they have to make their hands dirty. Why? They have to educate their people. They have to make sure their ERP is again managed well. Correct, no, students? Yes or no?
Correct.
Acceptability by the warehouse will be a biggest challenge. If you have your own warehouse, that's what Amazon is doing successfully. They have their own warehouse and they have their own R&D as well. Students, can I just give that example so that you will get the understanding why these companies like Amazon is doing well? Amazon has their own warehouse. Correct now, students? Can I get a Y in the chat box? Now, you can argue Amazon is doing very, very well. The reason is they have their own warehouse also. Can I get a confirmation from you all in the chat box if you got that point? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. So acceptability by the warehouse client is one major factor, if I'm not mistaken. And then students, if I'm not mistaken, legal compliances with regards to health and safety. With regards to health and safety and job security. What do you think, students? Immediately, will you be able to implement such high technology in a market immediately? Or will you have legal compliances as well? Legal compliance, definitely, no, students.
It's a very, very good point, actually. I never
Correct, no,
thought about
student.
it.
Thank you. So, students, I believe how slow thinking is working, I believe. Can you all feel my way of thinking, students? Nandini, can you get that way of how slowly thinking gives you better quality? So, legal compliances, health and safety, acceptability by the warehouse will be another challenge. Another challenge, if I'm not mistaken, in the AI proposal is counterproductivity due to poor data feeding. Can that happen, students? Because we are thinking about efficiency, everything, but in case if the data is fed in a poor manner, can that be a counterproductivity? I'll just quickly connect it. Cloud service is outsourced. Cloud service is what, students? Outsourced. Are you understanding that point of view? Cloud service is what, students? Outsourced. So in that case, again, it will become a bigger challenge. Can I get a confirmation from you all? Because wrong delivery of the items, AI will sometimes misunderstand the communication. The algorithms can go wrong if I'm not mistaken. Then students, the next point of view, if I'm not mistaken, will...
The unexpected errors?
Yeah, that only I was saying, counterproductivity. The other one is, will there be any cost increase for the clients, cost increase for the clients, considering the existing systems they have. Now, students, if you observe, one thing is more than your investment funding, the biggest challenge is these are capital assets for a buyer. So do you think, does the suppliers have the capital funding also? Can I get a confirmation from you all in the chat box, students? Are you understanding that point. Can the suppliers have an issue? Clients have an issue. Example, Kashif, Apple iPhone, you
Yeah.
will only update if it is good for you. Correct, no, Kashif? Will you update for
Yeah.
everything they are releasing? Practically, no. So that will be another bigger challenge if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And then in case students, now they are effectively saying that mobile apps, everything they can integrate. So the question is, students, integration and compatibility, integration and compatibility from downstream supply chain, from downstream supply chain, students, downstream supply chain. Because students, now if you see, all the retailers may not have the technology that you wanted to have, because this system is interdependent. Do you feel that, students, your technology is interdependent with someone? Can I get that point of view, students? So the supplier network will effectively have a major challenge in case if this was one factor, because that is another factor to be considered. And Mr. Jose was saying, as you are telling, cyber risk can take place because so many factors are integrated. Something wrong goes out, everything will be happening. So students, in this case, now we are effectively clear with the challenges we are facing. But luckily, in this question, did they ask mitigation strategies? Kashif, did they ask mitigation strategy for the part A? No,
No.
only the challenges.
No.
But as a student, when you're practicing question, don't only practice questions for this. Practice question while you're thinking for mitigation. That means examination, don't write all these. How you improve your way of thinking is, can you just write down, if I was in your position, I think about the question also. They think outside the box. I also think the next questions that can arise. So mitigation strategy can be uh, thought as well, can be thought as, you can improve your thinking as well, thought as well, because that is one way that you improve your rational way of thinking. So students, can I quickly get a confirmation from you all in the chat box, students, if you are clear with this fast thinking and slow thinking, students? Can I quickly get a confirmation? Anushka, are you improving the way of thinking now, Anushka, if I'm
Yes,
not
sir.
mistaken? Yeah, so students, follow this actually. This will help you to avoid obstacles in your life, because many people make wrong decision because they think very faster. But you have always need to write the fast thinking in one side and slowly adjust your thinking to the slow thinking in the other side, because this will effectively give you a better decision making skills, and effectively your thinking will be even better. Now, one thing I have to tell you, ChatGPT can come, so many AI can come, they are fast thinking. But the beauty of human beings is, how many systems that are developed for fast thinking, human success is slow thinking. What do you think, Kashif? Because
Yes.
the
Yeah.
success of human beings are slow thinking, because humans have very high level of creativity and innovation. The reason is they can think slow. They are not perfect. If humans accept they are not perfect, they will become perfect. That is the secret of thinking. Okay, now students, I'll just finish this and then come to the next one. So one option I have is 60 minutes time. Though I won't watch the screen, I won't watch the time. So the first thing is I have to say here, generally, AI technology may have very high speed and efficiency. But the biggest challenge for the business can be, there will be a situation where the company will have to make sure that the legal factors are considered. Since in Tesla, compared with Darlan, You can write it down like this. The standards are higher. Correct, no, students? Yes or no? Therefore, the legal intervention with regards to human development may take place in cases of job losses. In cases of job what, students? Losses. Can I quickly get a confirmation from you all in the chat box, students, if you are getting that point of view? Further, other factors with regards to cyber security and also the health and safety in working environment. Full stop. Now, I believe things are getting better and clearer. So the next one, what I am concerned is legal. Government is first. The second one is another factor to be considered. Will the entire supply chain networks accept this immediately? Students, I believe that you are getting the clarity clearly. Another factor to be considered is, will the entire supply chain network accept this technology immediately? Since it is, I can say, a business process re-engineering. It's a business process re-engineering. It takes a lot of time, students, because it's not easy. It's a business process re-engineering. And also, the change management will be high. Students, I believe that you got that point of view very, very, very well. So I'll just move forward and I'll just make it even clearer for you. Also, in the case of small medium entities, SME, I'll write down here small medium entities, the company needs to make sure that they are able to a better understanding of the business process. And online stores as well, since they have to update their apps as well. So this is one big challenge. Now I can come to the next one, students, the affordability. Because students, once again, the affordability is also one factor. The affordability for the clients, which will be another strategic factor to be considered. Students, can I get a confirmation from you all in the chat box? Because even if you see companies like Samsung and OnePlus, they are introducing this folding mobile phone. They're not thinking about the affordability. If they have reduced the price, it could have become a major success. Correct, no, Anushka, if I'm not mistaken. Because when you're
Yes,
getting a
sir.
Samsung folding phone, your mind will always think, why should I pay the same price for an Apple high-end mobile phone for this Samsung phone? Makes sense? So
Correct.
students, the affordability of the clients is another strategic factor. Can I do one small thing? If you have not written, not an issue. Please don't take it as a wrong thing. It's my fault actually. I'll just think that Sony is there in that picture. I'll just take it all later. Since Sony is providing free systems and charging for subscription, free systems and charging for subscriptions, can we implement the same? Can we implement the same? Now I have to think the issue. We are already geared. We are already what, students? Geared. And therefore, in that case, can we make sure that we are able to have one more factor to be considered. One more factor to be considered. That is the thinking of, if I'm not mistaken, the affordability for the clients, which will be another strategic factor. Thinking of the client's affordability, and will they have value for money? Because students, and my example, I think many of you all have understood this ERP system. Technically speaking, if the leadership is horrible, value for money also won't be there, value for money. So we have to consider these factors. This is a bigger challenge in the strategy aspect. So the next thing, if I'm not mistaken, is this algorithm issues we may face, counterproductivity due to poor data management, and then I will connect the cyber risk as well. So if I'm not mistaken, I'll just write it down for you all so that it will be very easy for you to understand that applied process. The other factor to be considered is the counterproductivity issues. Counter what, students? Productivity issues. Make sense, no, students? For instance, the company can effectively have an issue with regards to, if I'm not mistaken, students, with regards to poor data feeding of affecting the algorithms, which may have poor transfer of goods, resulting in return inwards. Therefore, in that case, we have to ensure there is a better system design in the future. Students, I believe everyone has got it. And also, we don't have a in-house cloud data management system. Therefore, we have to make sure that the company will effectively be managed with some better internal controls, because that is important, because foreign country we have data management system. Finally, the cyber risk is a crucial factor. With regards to the data privacy of the clients and also customers. Therefore, this can also be another threat. Full stop. So students, I believe that you are fine with this. Can I get a confirmation from you all in the chat box? So the thinking fast and slow thinking will effectively help you to think better and easier and clearer. Now, students, let's move on to the next one, students. I'll just have two things. So I'll write down here, fast thinking. And here I'll mention what, students? Slow thinking. Fast thinking and what, students? Slow thinking. So let's start working on this. Now, again, not complicated, students, not complicated, very easy, very sensible also. So fast thinking, what are the risks having a cloud data management system from USA. What do you think, students? Again, we are going for a specialist rather than building our own. So what do you think, students? Can I quickly get some confirmation from you all in the chat box? What do you think?
Reliance on third party.
So I'll just write down the fast thinking points. Reliance on third party.
The currency
Reliance.
risk.
Currency risk.
Data protection risk.
Data protection risk.
The data loss, because different countries, different laws. So that also.
Time zone also mentioned, right? So
Shall we ask for cyber security insurance, etc., from the supplier?
okay. Terms and condition first.
And then ISO certification, shall we ask for that, or it will be a repetition? Like data
Accreditation.
related to ISO 27001 certification.
Additional cost.
That is there, cost is there. So can I get a confirmation from your students if you are fine with this? Can I quickly get a confirmation from you all? So once again, I'll eliminate the operational factors. So reliance on third party. Okay, that is one factor mentioned. Currency risk. Currency risk, can I make it as operational? Anyway, foreign country currency risk is there. Data protection law, mostly common for every company, right? Agree? Data law, common. These are common. Time zone, yes, but operational. Yes, but operational. Cybersecurity insurance, yes, plus operational. And a mitigation strategy. Insurance can be a mitigation. Terms and condition, legal, and this is correct. You have to analyze it. Accreditation, yes, it can be within the terms and condition. Cost, also, yes. I'll just write down yes. And students, sorry, here they are requesting 500 million initially. I'll just write it down. And they are asking how much student subscription of 50 million USD. So can I quickly get a confirmation from you all in the chat box, students, if you are fine with the fast thinking now? Can I quickly get a confirmation from you? Yeah, now the biggest problem for the students is they write this answer and they think they have completed the exam. That is very risky. Don't do that. So I'm going to think slow thinking. Slow thinking is very, very, very important. Future technological disruption. Can there be future technological disruptions like blockchain? What do you think? Possible or not possible?
Possible.
So paying 500 now and suddenly there is another technology emerging. Is that a strategic thinking? What do you think, Nandini?
Yes, sir.
Yes or no?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is true.
Now I'll make it even very easy for you to think, Nandini. You may be knowing Lotus Tower in Sri Lanka. Correct, no, Nandini?
Yes. Yeah.
Fast thinking or slow thinking, Nandini? What is the rationale behind that? I think it's fast thinking.
Fast
right?
thinking. Fast thinking.
Fast
Yeah.
thinking. Money
They
gone.
just
Everything.
money came and they invested suddenly, but now it is not using by anybody.
Anyone is not using. So students, didn't you think like that? Anushka, didn't you think like that? Because
Yes, sir.
technological things are changing, right? Aditi, do you understand the art of thinking slowly, Aditi? You get what I'm saying?
Yes,
Because
sir.
I'm thinking beyond my basic level of thinking. I'm not overthinking. Students, Kashif, this is not overthinking. Correct, no, Kashif, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
I'm just making sure my thinking is categorized into what are the factors I am thinking now. Is that relevant to what I need to think? So future technological disruption, blockchain can come. We may not be aware, but the biggest thing is if we invest 500 million today and go for a $50 million subscription package for a time being of 5 years, within this 5 years or 2 years or 1 year, there can be a future technological disruption. And I can also say metaverse can come. These things you will earn a lot of marks in the exam, students. You can end up as a prize winner also if you can go with the slow thinking. So this is will be my first consideration if I'm not mistaken. So that is one thing. So the mitigation strategy for this is ask for the business plan from USA company. Do you need to ask their business plan? Yes or no? If I'm not
Yes.
mistaken, student. Yeah, you
Yeah.
have to ask from that because B2B, your long-term client, so you have to ask from them for sure, 100% sure. That is one risk. Or in case if they are not giving so, negotiate the rates. Correct, no, students? Negotiate the rates. Ask for trial period. Ask for what, students? Trial period. Can we ask for trial period, students? Is it possible? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So can I just ask one question, please? If
Yeah.
you can. So are they asking 500 million plus the additional subscription?
50. Yeah,
50
yeah.
million
And also an annual subscription.
Also,
500 million and also an annual subscription.
Yeah.
Now the next thing I have to ask, if I'm in the high level, what about alternatives? In this case, did we think about any alternatives? Nandini, now I'm asking a practical question.
Yeah.
If you have an option to buy a Windows computer, you also check whether can I buy iOS also, right? Because money is same.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the biggest challenge in this case is what about alternatives? Do they have any alternatives? Even the risk of being higher forecasters, correct. It's in USD also, but what about alternatives? Anushka, have they ever considered any alternatives,
sir.
Anushka? No, right?
Yeah.
What about alternatives? And I'll just write down within brackets, I'm just thinking and I'm saying, why no market research? Correct, no, students, because I think this is very, very important for y'all in real life. Why no market research? Makes sense, right, students? Makes sense because you have made a decision to do SIMA, but you'd have also had an idea what about alternatives, ACCA, so many things are there. The next thing, let's move forward in more thinking based aspects so your answer quality will be far better and easier for you all to think and apply in a more quality and a standardized manner. So students, if I'm not mistaken, what I can effectively consider is the next thing is future technology. What about alternatives? Why no market research? The other one is I have to be even more careful with this is after sales service. Did they mention anything related to after sales service? How quickly they can solve any issues? It's operational factor, but in case something goes wrong, how quickly they can solve issues? Did they give any idea with regards to that?
So is
No,
that
no,
means that the time period? Is that
Yeah.
mean?
Do they have real-time solutions? Because
Real-time.
supply chain management needs to have real-time solutions also, no? Because
Yeah.
in case if your systems are automated and your data is not functioning, your operation management will get affected. In that case, you have to make sure that you have real-time solutions also. Students, can I get a confirmation from you all in the chat box, students, if you got that after sales service point? It makes a lot of sense, no, students? It makes a lot of sense in this as well. And the other thing is, if I'm not mistaken, I can just come to that terms and condition on data protection. This is very important, and any insurance is there for that because that is very important to think. And the last thing, if I'm not mistaken, the return on investments, in simple language, I can say cost benefit analysis is also one biggest factor to be considered, because shareholders will question you, right? Our money, what are you doing with this? So students, are you understanding how the screening is done? You think fast and then stop, and then reflect. Reflection is only you do this. You
Correct.
understand what I'm saying, no, students? You stop, you do the reflection. Once you do the reflection, then you think, okay, these are fine, but management won't be satisfied with providing this, because now I'm promoted as a senior manager and I have to think better than what I was thinking in the management case study. And I can't even go to operational case study thinking. I can't just write a memorized book definition and pass this exam. So I have to give something that is value adding for my stakeholders and the things that my stakeholders didn't think. So can I say this, we call this as blind spots. What is this, students? Blind spots. Correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Kashif. I think this is very, very important
Yes,
for
sir.
an accountant and an auditor. Blind spot, and the other one is students' discoveries. Because you are doing blind spot and you are doing discoveries. But this is analysis. Analysis is using data. Using data and organizing them is analyzing. Anushka, you are a technical expert in that. Agree, no, Anushka, if I'm not mistaken. Using data and organizing that is analysis, what we did in management case study. But when it comes to the strategic case study, you have to see the blind spot, which no one is seeing. And you have to make sure you come up with discoveries, which is not at all there. That means it's available, but no one has observed it. Like Christopher Columbus discovered America. That means America was existing in the world, but it was a blind spot. No one didn't think of going to that region, and he discovered it. What do you think, Kashif? Do you feel
Yeah.
that Christopher Columbus was a great strategist? Because he found the blind spot and discovered it. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yes or no?
Yeah.
So when you go to the exam, students, you have to think you are like the Captain Jack Sparrow, or you have to think like you are, I can say, Christopher Columbus, and go with that attitude, students. Don't just go and come like, I want to pass the exam, I'll write whatever that teacher taught me. No, you have to think about the blind spot and think about the discoveries. And frankly speaking, how to think in simple language, think like a lawyer. Think like what, students? A lawyer who is thinking the crime scenes. Crime scenes. Because students, I will quickly teach you this so that your thinking is clear. In every cases, okay, there are three stories. In every cases, what, students? Three stories. That is the victim story. Correct, no, students? The victim story. Victim will tell one story. Agree or not agree, students? Yes or no? Victim will say the person who is affected, and then students, the if I'm not, the offender. Correct? The offender will also tell his story. Agree, no, students? Yes or no?
Yeah.
And
Yes.
the final one is the truth. The truth is you need to identify the blind spots, which both are missing, and you have to discover that and come to a judgment. So, frankly speaking, students, this is the three aspects. Sherlock Holmes, correct. So, I believe everyone is now clear how to think. So, golden rule in the exam: if you think very fast, what happens? Answer will be wrong. And the tip I'm saying: increase your typing speed. Now, students with slow typing speed will have a challenging time in the exam. Do you agree with me, Nandini? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Because
That
the
is right.
typing speed is true. It's very, very operational ability you have to improve. But if you are good in typing, students, the time you invest in this will give you the best case analysis. So students, can I quickly get a confirmation from you all in the chat box, students, if you are fine with that? Can we move forward with the applied way of writing? Yeah, so I'll write down here. The biggest factor of risk in the data cloud service is that technological disruption that may emerge due to new technology. Students, do you agree with me, students? Yes or no? Now, Anushka, if you see now, we don't even use the credit card, debit card. We use the UPI payment, no, Anushka,
Yes,
if I'm not mistaken. So, technological disruption. If you have invested in Visa and MasterCard, today I think that investment needs to be downsized because better usage of new technology is coming. And the next one. Further, we have to make sure that blockchain technology, and then students, if I'm not mistaken, metaverse, these are new things. Metaverse may come forward. And effectively, this may affect the business functions. Correct now, students? Can I quickly get a confirmation from you all in the chat box, students? So it will effectively affect the business functions. And sometimes we may be asked to update as well. Therefore, this is a critical risk. Therefore, this is a critical risk. Critical risk. I believe that you have got that point. The best mitigation strategy is to ask for business plans with regards to technological disruption of the, if I'm not mistaken, the best mitigation strategy is to ask for business plan with technological disruptions of the cloud service. And does the company have prepared for that? Does the company have prepared for that? That is the first question we have to ask for in the future. Also, in the case if they say no, we have to negotiate. We have to negotiate the price and the subscription. And also ask for free trial period. Students, I believe that everyone has got this point of view very clearly. So that is the mitigation strategy. The next one, students. What about alternatives? So can I write down here? The biggest transparency risk is why there is no other players considered. Is this company a monopoly? Look at the questions I am asking students. Is this company, what students? A monopoly. Can I get a confirmation from you all in the chat box, students? Is this company a monopoly? Make sense now, students, if I'm not mistaken, yes or no? Yeah. And then students, I will continue this step by step so that it will be very, very easier for you all to understand the business application more and more clearer and easier as well. Further, another factor to be considered, is the reason behind the choice, the reason behind the choice, the reason behind the choice. Since there is a shareholder accountability, there is a shareholder accountability, with regards to stewardship function. Students, with regards to what, students? Stewardship function, with regards to stewardship function, in that case, it will be a major challenge. In that case, it will be a major challenge. Students, can I quickly get a confirmation from you all in the chat box, students, if you are able to get that? Because value for money and cost benefit analysis will be a question from the board, for the board, question for the board. So in this case, I have to just make sure there needs to be a formal tender process. There needs to be a formal tender process for this service. And we have to ensure that this process considers economic risk such as currency risk, since all the payments are made in what, students? USD. Therefore, this is very important. This is what, students? Very important. So students, can I once again get a confirmation from you all in the chat box, students, if you are fine with that? Any questions you like to ask, you can ask me. So that is one more point of view. Now, students, the next thing is, if I'm not mistaken, terms and condition after sales service. So I'll write down another one. Terms and conditions is critical. Since it is an overseas company and the data management is generally slow, is generally sensitive, and it may affect the overall production, overall functions as well, and cause inconvenience to the customers. Therefore, this is critical. This is for students critical. So I believe that you are clear with that also. So I'll write down here. Therefore, a legal arrangement needs to be made. And also, we have to do stress test with regards to the customer service they provide. And we need to have real-time services. Therefore, in that case, we can make sure the quality is stabilized. And fun factor to be considered is the financial stability of this company. Where we have to make sure that we are able to understand there will be no service disruption, because tech company students, sometimes they will close down. If they close down, students, again, it's another problem. So financial stability is very, very important. So, students, are you understanding this thinking, students? The main objective of our class is to improve the way you think, because you are investing so much just not to pass, always to improve your decision making and your thinking. And I always suggest students, in my personal experience, slow thinking made me a better person. The reason is sometimes I have given up my ego, sometimes I have given up my anger, sometimes I have given up my feelings. And that has helped me to build very strong relationship that helped me to grow in my career. And that is the truth. So always make sure you think fast, write it down, process it, and then ask that question, is this relevant? And then make a slow decision. So I'll come for the one-to-one discussion. Aditi, any questions you have?
No, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Kashif, any questions?
So just one question, I'm thinking. So because they are asking for an investment of 500 million and then a subscription of 50 million. So do we need to, or can we provide some sort of detail, like in terms of funding, 500
Yeah,
million
that can
plus
that can be
miscellaneous
fun.
costs?
That can be fun. That can be provided. For instance, I think you can make it in the shareholders, because I'll just write down here 500 million USD and USD 50 million subscription. I'll just write it down. Is it worth? Is it worth? Correct?
And do we need to mention like it will be capital investment and then operational, because subscription charges are
Yeah. It's a capital investment with some maintenance charges. That's what they are charging subscription.
Perfect. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Rahul, any questions?
No, sir. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you. Nandini, any questions?
Sir, I have one question. Okay. If can we include when we are using the alternative, that means market research, can we include this alternative way to other countries? Can we include
Yeah,
that
of
point?
course. Of course. Now, that's the correct way of thinking, Nandini. Now, if you see what's happening in Sri Lanka, they are importing egg from which country? India, no. Egg
Yeah,
is
India.
imported
Yeah,
from India. They
India.
are not thinking egg. Can't we get egg from Sri Lanka? Just asking. Easily,
Can.
egg is there and
Yeah.
everywhere egg is
Yeah.
there. Chicken population is higher. So
Higher.
they don't import. So the question you're asking is correct. Why do we need to go for a foreign organization in case if we have someone who can provide the same services within us or within in Dalan or within close by to us? So that is a correct point. Is that fine, Nandini?
Yes, even if our port city also, the China investment and everything came, now I think it is a little bit okay, right? Foreign income we are earning and like that. So rather than going to the Lotus Tower.
Correct, of
Like,
course.
yeah.
100%.
Mm.
Thank you. Next person, Anushka, any questions?
No, sir.
Thank you. Mr. Ifzal, any questions?
No, thank you, sir.
Welcome. Mr. Jose, any question? Okay. So, students, thank you very much. Please do the question. I will mark your answers. And let's meet up in our next class on Wednesday. Thank you very much, students.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Welcome.
sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Welcome.
Have a nice weekend.
Thank you.